People. As I've said before, if you as a Christian say, my problem is people, if all you can see is people as your problem, then you haven't advanced a lot as a Christian. Because as you advance as a Christian, you begin to recognize it's not necessarily the person that's the problem, it's the power operating behind the person. We should try and make our point to the world. We should still argue our case, because what we are suffering now is a thing called Christophobia, which is a fear of Christianity. It's the same thing that homosexuals do now. They're not content, the radical ones are not content just to accept Christianity, but they must force Christianity to bow. Why does the world hate me? Why does the world hate the Christian who loves Jesus and who blesses their neighbors and who helps and who is a blessing wherever they... Because Jesus has chosen them. It's because heaven has intervened into their life. It's nothing to do with your personality. It's nothing to do with your income or your job. It's nothing. It's to do with the fact that heaven has called you, that you belong to Jesus. Verse 5. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but... So the situation was really hopeless. It looked as though Peter was going to die, but the Bible says, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. Something happened. There was now going to be, and this is really what I want to bring to your attention before we close. Earth, under the authority, these earthly potentates, under the authority of demonic powers, had now exercised their authority. They had crushed the church. They had broken the spirit of the Christians. They had martyred one of the Lord's servants. They had the other great servant of God imprisoned. It was terrible. It was so debilitating for the young church. They were on their way out. They were on their way down. All possibilities of progress seemed now to have stalled. It looked as though the battle was going to turn the other way, and the young church was now going to go into full retreat. And the Bible says, but we must pray. How did our fathers see moves of His Spirit? Through prayer. It wasn't through bringing in a tambourine. Could you imagine the Apostle Paul in the early days? Imagine if he would have went to preach somewhere and they said, well, Paul, are you going to pray? No, I'm waiting for a 40-foot container here. And it's got all the equipment and all the stuff. And by the time he gets it all set up and he has to preach, the congregation's gone.